Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Dr. Beher Fuad, and the subject today is we need to be careful in choosing our friends because they have a lot of influence. They can help us or they can harm us. They can set a good example or they can set a bad example and misguide us and lead us to hellfire. The Prophet ﷺ told us that it is important to go out, interact with others, and to have relationship. المسلم الذي يتفاعل مع الناس ويصبر على أذاهم خير. A person who goes out, interact with others, and patiently persevere regarding the harm that may come from them is better than the person who secludes himself, does not go out, does not interact with others. Now, choosing good friends is important because they have an effect on us. Now, the Prophet ﷺ gave us the example. مثل الجليس الصالح كحامل المسك. The example of a good companion is the person who is carrying musk. إما أن يحذيك وإما أن تبتاع منه وإما أن تجد منه ريحا طيبة. Either he will give you a gift or you may buy from him, or the least is that you are going to find a good smell from him. ومثل الجليس السيء كالنافخ في الكير is the one blowing on fire. Either إما أن يحرق ثيابك وإما أن تجد منه ريحا خبيثة. He may burn your clothes or you may find a bad smell from him. And this describes the effect from a good companion and from a bad companion. Now, a good companion is a person who is righteous and who guides us to Allah and who reminds us of our responsibility and accountability to Allah. And the Prophet ﷺ told us that among the 7 people whom Allah will protect and shades on the Day of Judgment are 2 persons who love one another only for the sake of Allah. They come together to please Allah and they separate in not doing anything that incurs Allah's anger or displeasure. In contrast, an evil companion is going to misguide us, will make things, bad things, look good in our eyes. أفمن كان على بينة من ربه كمن زين له سوء أعمالهم واتبعوا هواهم is the person who was guided and have clear signs from his Lord, the same as others who follow their vain desires and their own evil deeds seem pleasing in their mind. Surah Muhammad chapter 47 in the Quran. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing that there are evil companions from devils and as well as from mankind. شياطين الإنس والجن يوحي بعضهم إلى بعض زخرف القول غرورا. There are devils from among mankind and from jinns, and they talk to each other with flowery discourses that are deceiving to one another. And ويوم يعض الظالم على يديه يقول يا ليتني اتبعت مع الرسول سبيلا. On the day when the wrongdoer will bite on his hand and will say, I wish I have followed the way of the Prophet. يا ويلتا, woe to me, ليتني لم أتخذ فلانا خليلا, I wish I did not take this person as an intimate friend. لقد أضلني عن الذكر بعد إذ جاءني, he did indeed misguide me from the remembrance of Allah after clear signs came to me. وكان الشيطان الإنسان خذولا, Satan is an avowed enemy to man. The verses are in Surah Al-Furqan, the Criterion, chapter 25 in the Quran. Also, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing the remorse of those who are in hellfire, that they followed evil companions. لقد أضلنا عن الذكر, that they misguided us from the remembrance of Allah. فما لنا من شافعين ولا صديق حميم, we have no one to intercede on our behalf and we have no good friends. Surah Al-Shu'ara, the Poets, chapter 26 in the Quran. So, those who are good friends will guide us to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They will remind us of our responsibility, of our accountability to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they do that in several ways. One, by setting a good example for us in their character and their behavior. And second, they do not allow us to chase every human desire and to waste our time in useless and harmful pursuits. Rather, they will guide us to what is good and what is righteous, and to do good things that will intercede on our behalf on the Day of Judgment. So, what are the criteria of choosing a good friend? Number one, he or she must be a righteous person, a person who exhibits piety and goodness in his or her character and in his or her behavior. Second, that such a person will set a good example for us and guide us to what is truthful and what is just. Third, such a person does not have any envy, does not have any hatred, does not hold any grudges. They are doing so only seeking the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and want to guide us to what is truthful and what is just and righteous. They don't want any material things from us. And such friends are not easy to find, and they are few. So if we find someone like that, we should stick to them and follow them, listen to them and follow their advice. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه وادعوه إنه سميع قريب مجيب الدعاء.